A week ago we were looking for houses, and now I'm like, Dad, we're moving back in. How I go from trying to buy a damn house to realizing, girl, your net worth, you in the negatives. Like, you guys must be making me nervous or something, because as soon as I hit freaking record up here, all of a sudden now I gotta poop. What is up with that? I get the nervous poop. Does anybody else get the nervous poops? Okay, so I'm here to talk about how I am a broke AF, and how I don't know why it took me this long to realize, like, student loans be real. Like, this shit is real. First of all, today I went to go get my nails done. I rushed to the shop because, like, they always are only first come first serve, and then you get there and then it's like so busy and packed every time. So I'm rushing out the door while I leave out with my damn house shoes on, as you saw. And I was still like late anyway. They opened at 10. I got there at like 10:02, and there was like the whole row of people with the pedicure chairs already getting their pedicures. I just wanted my nails to get soaked off. Look at just this amazing manicure. If this will focus, it's crazy lighting. Clearly they're just plain nails, but the reason why I'm zooming all in today is because what the hell about, like, can you see all this crust on my hands? Like, excuse me? You see this like crust? Like this is, I guess, from soaking some of the acrylic still got on my finger, and like they didn't even get it off. I did that because I just realized, like, I'm not about to be in the mood or in the business to be playing around with getting my nails done anymore. Like, I ain't got the money for it, sis. Today I'm actually back at the same place I filmed my first video at. It's my little secret hideout. Clearly it's not like super secret or not busy or anything. Like, it's clearly a busy industrial area, but I love coming here just to sit and park. It's like a shopping area. Hadn't eaten yet, so it was like 12 when I left. I just decided to pick up something quick from Starbucks. You saw that. On the way here, I was so hungry. I just had like one of their breakfast sandwiches, the bacon Gouda. I'm like an annoying person that when I eat, like, I don't be finishing nothing. But I mean, I finished that sandwich because I was hungry. But sometimes I just want a couple bites of something. Like, I'm still hungry. So I'm gonna have a couple. I love oatmeal. Oatmeal is like my favorite for breakfast. So I'm just gonna eat as much as this until I get full. You did see I also got a cheese Danish. Don't worry about it. Mind your business. But I'm probably not gonna eat that till later. But then I also just got, like, I was gonna get a pumpkin cream cold brew, but I kind of wanted something with more flavor in it today. So this is just a pumpkin spice latte, iced, and then I just put oat milk in it. Not because I'm lactose intolerant. Maybe I am, because like I said, I got the bubble guts now from drinking a little bit of this. But not me spitting everywhere. But I just changed it to oat milk because I like the taste of different milk. That's all. So call this a mukbang or whatever you want to call it. If you want to. It's not really. I'm just hungry right now, so I'm gonna eat this and talk. Almost forgot the best part. Your little raisin dried fruit thingy majiggy. You don't need the whole thing. It's like a whole dang pack of raisins. Like, you don't need that many. Oh, so the reason why you clicked on this video, let me talk about what the heck is going on in my life. So if you watched my last video, I gave a couple tips about being a travel nurse, and I specifically said in that video from a burnt out nurse. Now, when I tell you, I'm sorry I might be all over the place, because typically I kind of like to write stuff down before I talk, because I'm sporadic brained, if that's a term, but we're gonna have to get through this today. My sporadic brain already. I interrupted myself and now I forgot what I was saying. I was saying, my previous video, I gave you tips, burnt out nurse. And when I said that, I feel like ever since a year ago when I became a travel nurse last November, I've been burnt out. Let's get one thing straight. Let's talk about nursing in general. Let's rewind. I was burnt out from this the second I started clinicals as a nurse. There are so many nurses I know where you're just in it already, and people in college in general, you're tired of school, you want to be successful, there's all this pressure on you to be successful. So what do? You just go along with it. You go to college even though you feel like you can barely afford it. You can't afford it, really. You're taking out all these loans, and then you don't really know if that's what you want to do for the rest of your life. You're 18, you make this decision. So I went to college, still did not want to become a nurse, became a nurse anyway because people said they saw me being a nurse. I don't know why. In nursing school and clinical, there's so many nurses I know that I relate to that always say, I didn't like nursing when I was in clinical. I already knew. But you invest so much to get to that point where you're even starting your clinicals. You know what I mean? You've done so much to get there. And it's such a big disappointment, a big letdown, waste of money on yourself and from other people to change now. And you're like, you know what? Nursing is one of those fields where you can do so many things. And that's what I kept saying. It's so versatile. When people will say, what attracts you to nursing? I would always say, it's so versatile. You can do so many different things with it. That's kind of was my driving force to get through it. And I was just so over school. People expected so much out of me to be successful. So that's just kind of what I did. I went down the path. I graduated. I struggled to find a job. I finally found a job. And even when I start orientation, I was like, I am burnt out. And not burnt out, I guess is not the right way to say it at that point. It was just more so not satisfied or fulfilled with that job. Very stressed and very unhappy, because you can be stressed even in, of course, orientation. When you're realizing the weight of what you're doing, get into it and you're like, this is not for me. There's so many nurses that do so many other things afterwards and they realize that's what they want to do. As in other nursing careers. There's so many, you can go online and just search non-bedside or non-patient care nursing jobs and you can find so many of them. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. If you wanted to move up and do other non-clinical, non-bedside patient care jobs, it would have taken you 5-10 years to get into those kind of a position. So those easier jobs that people want to get that require seniority, because everybody with seniority wants those jobs. So enough of a rant about me and nursing and not being for me long term. Let's just say that. Just now, after I've graduated, it's been 3 years now, thinking about the gravity of the debt that it took to get to this point. I've been watching so many YouTube videos of different people who decided to tackle their student loan, and they felt the same way. This one girl described it as monopoly money, where you just take it out, you don't really think much about it. And then for me, I know a lot of adults in their 30s, 40s, 50s who, I'm just paying the minimum payment, or I got them to defer it for a little longer. And I remembered at that point with me taking out the money when I was, in undergrad, 18, 19, 20, because I graduated with a bachelor's of science. Bachelor's of science in psychology. When I graduated with that, I probably had $30,000 to $40,000. With that, I was living on campus. My parents were paying for the portion of it they could, and the rest was just student loans. And that just is what it is. I knew I was gonna become a nurse my sophomore year of college. I went to DePaul here in Chicago, their nursing program, which was a master's program. I remember when I filled out that FAFSA, like I had done 4 times before every year for college, just expected when I got the money back, it was going to be some grants and scholarships in there. I did not get one grant. They said, here's your $40,000 in loans. Here you go. I was like, excuse me, where's, and I remember asking, where's the grants? And I had no idea that when you go to graduate school, you don't get any grants or scholarships. I had no clue. I said, well, I'm here now. What am I going to do? I want to be a nurse. I invested all this time into this and money. I don't even want to waste no more time in college. I'm here. This is my start date. This is my end date. I don't want to delay it anymore. And I think that is the biggest problem with people taking out these loans. Like, I think a lot of people, even people I know that are still doing it, it's because you want to hurry up and just be done with school. And if you change your plans because you didn't plan around paying for college in another way, which no one really educates you on other ways to get your college paid for free. So it's like, either you're gonna do these loans or what are you gonna do? You're gonna waste time finding another route. Ooh, my camera gonna get hot in the sun. Let me hurry up. So I go to nursing school. I take out the max amount because, you know, I wasn't gonna be working at the time. I know a lot of people work through nursing school, and my nursing school was crazy. They even encouraged you not to. And if they found out you were, they would like send you a harsh email saying, we encourage you not to work, because the last thing they want is for their students to flunk out. That looks bad on them if all their students are like flunking out. But a lot of these people, this is graduate school. Most people were like married, had kids, were getting pregnant while they were in school. They had bills to pay. People were still working. I did not, because for me, like, I really was very stressed during that time. It was just not in God's will for me to work at that. Let me just, like, I don't know. Like, for me, I was really stressed. I know a lot of people had the will to go bartend, or people will work night shifts as CNAs and go straight to school. That was not for me. I did not have that brain power to do that. I barely had the brain power to do it without working at the same time. So I did not work. I took out the full amount, even though I was living at home with my dad. I didn't have any rent to pay. It was just money for me to like live and whatever, live my best freaking life. I take all this money out, not really thinking about it. I graduate. I remember, you know, even when I graduated undergrad, I went to Bradley University in Peoria. I remember they made you do like an exit counseling to see, like, you need to look at your loans and pick your payment plan. You have a 6-month grace period to get a job and get your first couple checks, and then you owe us some money. And I didn't think about it leaving Bradley, because I said, I'm going to graduate school anyway. You don't have to pay if you're in school. When I left DePaul, I don't even know if I had to do the same thing. I still didn't give a crap. I was just like, whatever. It's fine. I'll figure it out. And then for me, like I said, it took me a while to find a job. I graduated in August, passed my board 3 years ago, like this month, September. I didn't find a job and start working until April of 2020 when the pandemic hit. So not only did I pass my grace period of 6 months, March, like I had just passed my grace period. Like when it was February. And by February, they're like, yo, you're gonna have to pay next month. What's up? And I said, I still don't have a job. They said, all right, bet, that's fine. We'll give you another year deferment. And I said, oh, wow, okay. They don't really check up on you, but when they come for you, they will come for you. So March, I had already deferred for another year. April, the pandemic hit. By midsummer or whatever, whenever the loans were paused, it's been paused ever since 2020 for me. Would it have been so much smarter for me to start paying all these loans off while there was 0% interest? Of course. Do I kind of regret it? Yes, but because I haven't paid a cent back at all yet. But at the same time, thinking about these 2 years and what I've been through and the stress I've been through, and just learning to be an adult, learning my relationship with money, understanding my relationship with money, making decisions, and just understanding adulthood for myself. I needed to grow in the way I did before I was ready to like tackle down and pay these loans. Basically, I owe $167,000 right now in student loans. $8,000 of that is the interest that accrued prior to the pause. To be honest, the deferment because of COVID. It's a lot. Gosh, this is turning into so much longer than what I thought it was gonna be. So the other big thing with the loans I was gonna talk about, I don't regret not paying for it yet, because I realized that because I owe so much, all I knew about people back in the day, all I knew about them was, oh, I'll just pay $200-300 a month, whatever, Sally man gonna get me, I'll defer it. Most of them don't owe as much as I owe. When you don't owe that much, yeah, you can get away with that. But even if you have an income driven plan, if you owe so much, like if somebody owes $500,000 in debt versus somebody that owes $10,000, the minimum payment is gonna be way smaller for that person that only owes $10,000. So I didn't put 2 and 2 together with that, because I was asking them how much would I pay on minimum, and they told me, oh, say if you make $75,000 a year as a nurse, my minimum payment would have been between $800 and $1,000 a month. Made me sick to my stomach. Like, crazy how this has always been floating above my head. And a lot of other people that I saw on YouTube, like looking up videos of people who paid off their loans, it was kind of like that for them too. Like I said, one girl compared it to Monopoly money. You just don't think about the gravity of it until you think about the gravity of it. And once it hits you, it really hits you. And also, mind you, I have been watching YouTubers talk about paying off their debt years ago, and it still didn't hit me. Like Asia Dang paying off her loans, I saw that and I still was like, wow, that's crazy. That would never be me. I'm not a rich rich YouTuber. Guess I'll be deferring this forever. Now, the reason why it really hit me was because I actually was debating about doing like house hunting vlogs, because in that last video I posted about being like stressed and burned out, another reason why I popped over in a bottle of wine and I was taking a drink was I was stressed because I was so focused on buying a house. Like, I knew that this year I was going to buy a house. I don't know what it was. Something told me, I'm like, look, eventually you're going to have to pay these loans back. And if you buy a house, you're tied up in that mortgage, you and your husband. And like right now you're basing your mortgage off of not paying back these loans. And you'll already be stressed out with this mortgage as it is. And I just bought this car. I have a car note. Someone just told me, look into your loans and see how much, what's the minimum payment you'll have to pay. And if me now being married would affect that. So I called them. That's when they told me the minimum payment would be $800 to $1,000 a month. And if you file jointly and you say, like, you know, they assume you have access to your spouse's income, that minimum payment would be higher because that counts as your income. She did tell me kind of in a roundabout way, because, you know, she's not supposed to say, oh, all you gotta do. Basically what she was saying was, if you say you don't have access to your spouse's income, then it would just be your income and we would charge you based on that. But still, regardless, that's a lot of money to pay every month, especially if I'm gonna buy a house and have my car note, his car note. And after I bought this car this year, it just really hit me to check up on the loans, because I just thought to myself, at this point in the last year, all we're doing is getting in more debt upon debt upon debt upon debt. We had just paid off one of my husband's credit cards, actually 2 of his credit cards. He's working on paying off his car. He's gotten that down significantly. And then it's like every time you dig yourself out a little bit, you put yourself right back in another way. Like, yeah, his car note's getting really low, but then now I just bought a car. Yeah, his credit cards are going down, but damn, you've been literally forgetting about all this money and student loans you owe with these crazy interest rates. So like, you're not really chipping away at everything. Debt is debt. Like, whether it's my student loans, his car note, my car note, credit cards, debt is debt. All of that takes away from you being able to truly pay the actual bills you have to pay, your living bills and buying a house and doing things, moving forward with your life. It all takes away from that. So after I saw that, we basically went looking for some house and we were so sold on it. We wanted to get it. But then that was right when I had saw how much I owed in student loans. And I was telling him, I just all of a sudden felt like really convicted to work on getting out of debt. Not us thinking we were going to buy a house and then realizing that we're in hella debt and like we really can't do that. Which thank God we realized it when we did, because we were like so sold on this condo we saw. So sold on it. So I tell you this whole spiel about nursing because everything I feel like really happens for a reason. I've been reading this book. I'm almost done with it. Signs by Laura Lynn Jackson. I was just reading it while I was waiting to get my nails done. A passage that really stuck out to me was how there's so many stories, and we all may have our own stories about hearing signs from God and the universe on what you should do. And sometimes you do hear clear-cut signs where you have a decision to make and God helps you to make that decision and go one way or another. Sometimes it's what you call radio silence, where like you don't hear anything. A lot of her stories were about, oh, your loved one is sending you a sign that you should have a baby, you should take the job, you should get married, you should start that business. A lot of them were like that. But then there was a couple stories, even her own story, where radio silence, you don't hear anything. You're begging for a sign from the universe, and then people got readings through her, and basically she told them the universe is saying that sometimes there is a clear-cut decision, but sometimes you really do have free will, and this is for you to decide. When you make certain decisions, it has to be not because it's based on fear, but because you hear that tiny whisper in your heart that you should do something, and then you follow through with it because you feel peace about doing it, and you don't question it. You just do it because you know that God has put that dream in your heart, and you know you should do it because you trust, and you're going on you're basing it on love, not fear. I say that to say, like, even with nursing, this last year I've been constantly praying, like, God, what do? I don't want to be a nurse anymore. I feel this pull to not get any type of committed full-time job. I've just been working and doing like a couple contracts here and there and just making it to the end and still not knowing what you want me to do. And I just kept praying about it and not knowing and not understanding and not trusting and listening, not really listening and all that stuff. And then I've been hearing now, like, I don't know where, I think there was this one YouTube video I saw about how you know you're hearing from God, or something about like asking God for wisdom, and I'm looking for my Bible app here. James 1, specifically verse 5 through 6, which says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generally who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. Verse 7, that person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Verse 8, such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. And I feel like that's really been me. Like, I always pray for answers for stuff, and then when God is like giving me an answer to do something, I kind of still feel like fear. Well, what if this happens? What if that happens? Like, God sometimes gives me wisdom to do something, and then I still don't do it because it's like a scary path, or I'm afraid to do it. And then you kind of go into the radio silence where you stop hearing things because you're like faltering all the time. Like, God is giving you this wisdom. When he gives you this wisdom, believe he's given it. And so with nursing, I feel like everything happens for a reason. I felt such a push to go work at the hospital I worked at, and then when I did, I stayed there as long as I did. I never thought I would be a travel nurse. I met my really good friend there who became a travel nurse, and because I went there and met her, now I can become a travel nurse. It was a way to hold me over and to get me to continue to work and make money and do what I have to do. That is going to be my ticket to work on paying off these loans. Or the other bad part and the other like blessed part. If you have a full-time job and they see your full-time job, you report how much money you make, they're gonna tell you, well, you owe us this much every single month. I don't know how, but because of my deferment prior to the pandemic, all the time I've been working to them, I still make $0. And they don't really apparently go and check up, and not like the real IRS or Uncle Sam. Call them, because payments are supposed to start back in January. She told me, oh no, you don't have to start paying back until next September. So with that, even though starting in January, interest will still keep accruing, I don't have to start paying anything back until September. They're not going to look at my income and say, you owe us this much money per month. So while I plan on paying things off aggressively, it just makes me feel better that they're not forcing me to pay a certain amount every month, that just, you know, you never know what might happen. It's been a blessed thing that I'm deferred for so long, but just keep in mind, it really sucks, because if I were to stay at that hospital working a full-time job, making between $75,000 and $80,000 a year as a bedside nurse, they're coming after my income like $1,000 a month. You owe them their money just like you owe every single other bill. So that would not have been enough money for me to pay a lot of money every single month towards paying off my loan. So what do I plan to do? I plan to work really hard this year and next year, just taking contracts and like paying off these loans. At first, nursing, I was looking at it as I have to do this because I have no other career choice, and what else am I going to do, and we have bills and blah blah blah. But instead, I'm looking at it as a tool to get me out of debt. And don't get me wrong, while I do enjoy it, I do enjoy nursing. I get fulfillment somewhat out of it. Like, I feel like I'm meant to be there, but it just stresses me out to the point where I wouldn't want to do anything else with my life. The idea of me having kids while I'm working as a nurse stresses me out, because I know tens of trillions of billions of whatever moms do it, but it ain't for me. Like, I come home so stressed and depressed sometimes, like I can't focus on anything else. It's just not meant for me to do like forever long term. But I look at it as a way to help me pay off these loans. We were looking for houses because either we were gonna look for a better apartment or we were gonna buy a house. Years ago, I kept saying, oh, let's move back in with my dad, because not that he's never lived there before, but I was thinking about moving back in just as a way to like save money. But once we got married, when you get married, you really kind of just want your own privacy, like your own private life. I kind of like pushed it off. I was like, you know what, no, let's just have our own place. It was just everything flipped so quickly in a matter of a week. A week ago we were looking for houses, and now I'm like, Dad, we're moving back in, because my dad has a 2-flat house, so it's plenty of space for all of us. He'll live downstairs, we will live upstairs. It's literally no money at all pretty much to live there. All of our money is just going to be chucking out to debt. So overall it's going to be over 200 grand in debt, I'm pretty sure, because my husband's car is like 12 grand, my car is like 30 grand, and then I have $167,000 in student debt. It's crazy because I have a contract coming up, like I think I mentioned in my other video when I was giving you the tips about, travel nursing. That contract is just 3 weeks, and honestly I was like, I'm not even gonna work anymore at the end of the year after that. No, like my goal is to get this debt down, period. Like that's my goal, so that when we do buy a house, we can save up most of the money to pay for the house, like to have a hefty down payment. Because at the end of the day, like I'm not trying to do this forever. I'm trying to to do other things with my life, find a more fulfilling career, hopefully YouTube. And like I said, when I was saying that book of signs, it made me feel so much more comforted when I was reading that book, because it's nice to know that so many other people hear signs from the universe, and sometimes you here on earth you still can feel you are being steered in the wrong direction, or you're not understanding something, you're missing something, they're not saying anything to you. It's just amazing how when you look at the whole picture of why you were being sent in a certain direction, you can really look back, and it's so crazy because it is in such a roundabout way that you would have never pictured yourself getting into a direction you never thought you would go. Like, I never thought I would give a crap about paying back my student loans. I never thought I would give a crap about travel nursing. I never thought that I wouldn't be able to find another like fulfilling nursing career, but something kept telling me in my gut, don't worry about finding any kind of a full-time committed job long term. Like, sign these contracts, make some money, keep pushing, take a break. That was what the universe kept telling me. But in my mind, I'm just like, I don't know, I don't feel that, because that just doesn't sound like a permanent solution to me. I want to buy a home now, and we're gonna have to pay some bills with that. Maybe I should just find like a registry job, like an as needed job where I only have to work, you know, a couple shifts a month, and that'll be enough to at least cover my car note or something and help out with some of the bills, pick up when I want to. That's what I thought would make sense to me, but something just kept telling me, no, don't worry about getting a full-time job or any kind of a permanent job. I hope in my next video to do like budgeting and how it's going. I am gonna consider in the future refinancing just to get the interest down, because so many people end up paying like tens of thousands of dollars more, 20, 30. For me, it could be $40,000 more just in interest if I don't refinance to get a lower interest rate. So yeah, I'm considering doing that too, but we'll see. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with my loan. How I go from trying to buy a damn house to realizing, girl, your net worth, you in the negatives. Like, it's so crazy when you apply for stuff, they want to know, what is your net worth? Like, what is your income to debt ratio? When I think about that, I wasn't even thinking about the loans. I was just like, okay, well, we owe this much on a credit card and this is my car, but that's it. But like, it doesn't sit right in my spirit for my net worth to be in the negative. So I am honestly blessed and grateful to have this opportunity to continue travel nursing to get this money paid down, because there's no other way as a bedside nurse that I'm gonna make tens of thousands of dollars a month to be able to pay this stuff off. Also so blessed that my friend is still traveling, so I'm going to be traveling with her, because Lord knows it would be so much harder to do it by myself. So step one, like I said, I took my nails off because I'm like, you know what, I don't want that to be another expense, because even before I gave a crap about my loans, I was still looking at how much I was paying to get my damn nails done, and it's like insane. So yeah, I will still be getting pedicures though, because like my toes, my feet ain't gonna be crusty, but I didn't need one today, so I didn't get one. All this Starbucks and food and eating out, it's gonna end. And then like I said, I'm gonna work on budgeting, making sure like I meal prep way better than I have been, so I don't have to like eat out, because I like to think I meal plan and prep, but I don't as well as I could, because you end up not cooking on a schedule that you say you were, and then you end up eating out anyways, and it's just the whole thing. That's the plan. I've been talking for way too damn long now, and I want to take you on this journey. It's so crazy how even when I started YouTube, as you can see from a previous journey, I thought my journey was going to be weight loss with you guys, but hell, I'm just praying that I'm not going to gain more weight, like, well, I'm stressing myself out trying to make money. Another interesting tip though, tell somebody. So I'm telling y'all, the girl, I did a YouTube video about it, and that was one of her steps in her how she got out of debt. And then another tip in this book about like manifesting things that you want was to tell somebody about it. Bring like-minded people into the chat with you. So hopefully if you guys are on a journey to get out of debt, comment below. If you already did it, let me know. Or if you still are in the zone where you're not thinking about it, that's okay too. I will encourage you to, when it's your time to spark and think about it as soon as you can, because when you could do it, the quicker you do it, the quicker you'll be out of it, and the less money you'll be paying over time and that interest. So wherever you're at in your journey, welcome, because this channel I feel like is just about where I'm at in my journey of life. It's not going to be just a whole nursing channel. It's not going to be just a weight loss channel, which is a part of my life. It's not just going to be a getting out of debt channel. It's going to be, like I said, this is my first vlog. This is about what's going on in my life and where I'm at. I think that right now, well, I just looked at my list of things that I need. Come to realize I kind of pretty much don't need anything right now, like from the store that I can think of. But Target, I came to realize I have the self-control now to just not buy certain things anymore, because I just do, like, I'm not like, well, because now, like I said, that I got smacked in the damn face when it came to my damn loans and stuff and how much money we owe. Having that mindset makes me not want to like waste a penny on something I don't, like a material item I don't need. Food, I'm still working on it because food is just so good and different. But like I said, that's gonna be one of my last steps. I'm gonna stop. And like I said, hopefully in the next couple of weeks or so, October is when I'm really gonna get down and like start paying these loans off. So I'm just gonna go walk around Target and just let Target tell me if I need anything, because maybe I am forgetting something I need, but I'm not gonna buy something I don't need. And honestly, sometimes just walking around, am I the only one that thinks like walking around Target just helps you with your anxiety? Because right now, oh, it could really begin to me. What is that TikTok, the pressure is getting sweater or something like that. I don't know.
Wow, the pressure is getting worse.
All right, y'all, I lied. I said I was gonna go to Target after that, but I did not end up going to Target because I felt like I was honestly just tired and getting hungry, and I know I was gonna walk around, work up an appetite, and then buy some more food and crap that I don't need to buy, because as you know, that's not where I'm at in my life anymore. So instead, as another way to save money, just a quick way to kind of wrap this vlog up, don't judge my space. Like, I need to straighten up clearly. I'm just gonna like fallify my house. So this is my living room. Nothing like too much, too special. I just kind of need to like straighten up, of course, the couch, living room area, and then that actually is, I just bought the deep cleaner for like couches and rugs that's like shampoos it. So that's what that is. So I'm gonna put that together. But yeah, don't judge this room either. This is like our junk room of stuff we really don't need that we even trying to get rid of. Plus, everybody has a junk room, right? Right? Really, honestly, all these boxes, I've been saving them because I know, like, sometimes my mom mails stuff to her sister, so she'll always ask me for a random medium-sized box. So I always would save boxes and like give her some boxes, and then sometimes I'll save boxes for things where I don't know if I'm gonna have to return it, so I'll like save it until I'm ready to like let it go. So yeah, some of these I'll like work on getting rid of these. And then honestly, we don't need this bed at all. Like, this is like an extra bedroom in our apartment, and I've been meaning to give this bed away, but that's been a hassle. And then also, we don't even need that dresser, and we just don't really have like space and like linen storage space, like closets and stuff. So like, this is where I keep our extra blankets. I'm not the greatest at organization, and the one thing about this apartment is that it is not great for like organizing at all. Like, it doesn't have, like I said, storage closets and linen and things like that. So you just kind of got to make it up. Like, I honestly keep where my cat is over there. So I honestly keep all of our sheets and stuff in there, because like we don't have no kind of a closet or anything to put like sheets. The last thing I'm gonna do today that I'll vlog, straighten up this area, and then in here somewhere in one of these totes I have stored our fall decorations somewhere. So like, these are where I keep these are my winter clothes that I'll have to swap out soon for summer clothes. And then that's like a little winter wreath I know I have in that black bag. That box is like sentimental stuff. My shoes, like my other shoes I don't wear as much. But yeah, I just have to like find my fall stuff and put it out. I know there's some fall pillows over there that I just keep. But yeah, most of these boxes are just random boxes I've gotten when I get stuff shipped to me in the mail from Amazon, whatever, and then I just keep them, because good thing I've kept them so far, because like I said, we're hopefully going to be moving soon. So yeah, let me like straighten up. I'll show you the after all together when I'm done. Hello friends, thank you so much for making it this far. These are just some leftover decorations I've had from the last couple years. I'm not quite set in stone on where everything will go, but yeah, I don't mind those batteries. My battery died while I was filming this video, so I was trying to find any working battery just to show you the last, like the kind of final product, if you will. So yep, that's gonna be it. Thank you so much for watching. Tune into my next video, where I'll probably be talking more about getting out of debt or travel nursing for now. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. See you in my next one. Bye.